You see that farmland they put up for sale? Yeah, yeah, that's the one. This is going to sound a little bit weird when I tell you, but don't buy it. Please don't buy that farmland. Take it from me, I bought a piece of farmland in a little town called Eureka, North Carolina. I didn't disturb the farmland at all. But I ended up selling it, and turns out that the guy that I sold that land to went on to split up that 8.9 acre property into 6 separate building lots so that he could actually build 6 homes on that property. And not everyone liked that. In fact, some people didn't like it at all. Big Brad 5382 said, "What a career. Making empty lots 3 times more expensive by flipping them? The world is so effed." Prodmal FC chiming in, "Flipper? Opinion disregarded. You people are why property values are artificially inflated. If you're not going to buy land to keep, use, or rent it, then stop making life unaffordable for others just so you can make your 5% markup profit." I love the you people there. Also, Prodmal FC, I made a lot more than 5% on that. I hope that's okay. Linda Crockett, 2863 chiming in. "Terrific. So you sold a beautiful piece of land and the guy split it up and now it's turning into a development that's the last thing those neighbors want. I swear to God." Then she followed up in a separate comment that just said, "Greed, greed, greed." There were some other comments that were so toxic I had to delete them, which I kind of regret now because I would have liked to have the option to share them on this video. But look, I don't blame people for speaking from the heart about something that they care about. It's a sensitive issue because look, I mean, we definitely, have a need for housing. And so because of that, you look further afield outside the city, and a lot of the residential development land that's being targeted is farmland. And once that farmland is developed, it goes away. Like the farmland goes away forever, which is made worse by the fact that the precious farmland that we do have is in short supply already. Apparently, the farmland is disappearing as we speak because all the good farmland is being used for residential development. And it's just a matter of time, guys, before the farmland is gone forever. Or so they say. Now, the farmland is definitely declining. That much is for sure because USDA data shows that from 2017 to 2022, the amount of land in farms did in fact decline from 900 million acres to 880 million acres. It's a decline of 2.2% across a 5-year period, which is pretty significant, honestly. Part of why the farmland's going away, apparently, is that the value of farmland on an inflation-adjusted basis since the 1980s has more than doubled. Meanwhile, the farmers that are actually using that land for agriculture are getting older, and they're facing financial pressures from the fact that they have a capital-intensive business that's also illiquid. And meanwhile, the farm real estate is 80% of the net worth of the average farm family. But this begs the question, well, why are they selling now? I mean, what's so special about right now? Well, apparently, the reason that the farmers are selling now is a combination of the financial pressures we alluded to and the fact that they don't have a successor. Their adult children have moved off the farm. They're in the city now. So because the children have moved to the city, they don't want to take over the family business. They're like attorneys and stuff. They're like physician assistants. They're like podcasters. So without anyone to maintain the operation, the farmland and the plant and equipment will go out of service either way. So I guess they may as well sell it is the idea. And that's why a lot of the farm operations that remain are consolidating. And as the total number of farmland in service goes down, the average size per farm is going up. So the setup is pretty clear, guys. I mean, I understand the incentives behind all this, but if this trend continues for much longer, it's going to create an environment where the farms just disappear entirely. And we may be even facing an environment of potential famine and malnutrition. So that's not good. And we need to make sure that we're avoiding that. But let's just take a quick step back and examine the data here, guys, because apparently when you look at this chart, the amount of farmland across the globe has exploded over the last 2,000 years to the point where it is now at an all-time high. We've never had more farmland in the world than right now. Let's just break this chart down. There's like 3 sections here. It's cropland, pastureland, and then human infrastructure. Cropland is 1.5 billion hectares. A hectare is 2.47 acres. So it's a lot of acres, several billion acres, I guess, just cropland. Now, the next category is what they call grazing, but that's pasture land. And that is going to be 3.2 billion hectares. Now, the built up area, you're gonna have to squint and zoom in just a little bit here, guys. Cities, towns, humans, infrastructure, homes, artificial developments from human beings, less than 1%. So barely any, but it's there. It's about 1%. Now, when we zoom out even further, the World Economic Forum, they published this paper a couple years ago titled 50% of all land in the world is used to produce food. The way that they broke it down was as follows. 29% of the Earth's surface is land, 149 million square kilometers, of which 71% is habitable. That excludes 10% glaciers, 19% barren land. Fair enough. Of that 71% that is habitable, half is agriculture, 50%. Not including the 37% that is forest, not including the 11% that's shrub, which is separate from forest, I guess. 1% to freshwater, lakes, ponds, and streams. And see that? That 1% at the bottom is urban and built up land. See, it's such a small share. They had to drop a footnote and point up to it, kind of like Delaware. Sorry, Delaware. The United States is mostly rural, undeveloped land. About 3% of it is built up area, 97% rural, undeveloped. I don't know if you guys have flown in a plane recently over the US. Have you ever done that? Have you looked down and seen what's actually happening on the surface of the United States? Are you seeing this? Guys, none of it's developed. It's all farmland. There's no development, okay? You cannot make this up. Go on Google Maps. Just look at a satellite map of the United States. Zoom in, look at this. Guys, these are real photos. These are real photos. It's just farmland. It's farmland that is so vast that they put it in big square sections with roads cut in at 90-degree angles. Look, there's a town called Pawnee Rock. 193 people live there, by the way. Look that up. Look, there's like a pottery store there or something. Then you have like a cemetery and a church, maybe a gas station or two. Maybe not. No one knows. That's it. That's it. Guys, I'm not sure. This is Kansas, okay, but I'm not even cherry picking. Go anywhere. Look anywhere. I'm telling you. Look in the most built up part of the country. Look in the Northeast. You zoom in. Oh, there's New York, Alex. What are you talking? And then you scroll. Oh, wait. There's no development. Okay? Like, you can't make this up, guys. This is mainstream news. Like, these are just the facts. In the United States, 39% of all land is used for farmland. That's 880 million acres. Not including forest, not including wetlands, not including lakes, not including barren land, not including glaciers. You got it? And as the population growth is slowing, the productivity of the existing farmland is rising. So we need less farmland per person over time. The productivity of farmland has more than quadrupled in the latter half of the 20th century because now the amount of agricultural product that used to require 4 acres to produce now can be produced with less than 1 acre. So that's what's going on with that. And in the United States, we're not even stretching the current agricultural capacity as it is. In 2016, there was a study from researchers at Tufts and Cornell University called The Carrying Capacity of Agricultural Land, 10 Diet Scenarios. Basically, what they concluded was, depending on like what we eat, it's the amount of agricultural capacity in the US could support a population conservatively between 402 to 807 million people, which is 1.3 to 2.6 times the population at the time the study was conducted. See, guys, in the United States here, we're so fortunate. Man, are you getting this? Are you seeing this? And with regards to farmland, one of the good fortunes that we have is we just have way more than enough. We have like surplus farmland, surplus agricultural capacity. We have so much farmland, we don't even really know what to do with it half the time. But you know what we don't have nearly enough of? You know what we're lacking in short supply? Housing. Guys, we're in the middle of a housing crisis. We live in the wealthiest nation in the history of the world, and everyone's broke. No one has money. There's no money. There's no disposable income. No one has money. Everyone's broke because they can't afford housing. They can't afford housing because there is none. There's a lot of demand. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people need affordable housing. There's just no supply. The lack of supply of affordable housing is driven up by exclusionary zoning that limits density and pushes construction away from the city into the country. It's the zoning rules, guys. This is very well known. This is like very well documented historical fact, guys. It is the zoning rules that are pushing construction out into the country. Guys, the lack of supply of housing drives up the price. See, you have a fixed demand. There's only so many people that would be in the market to rent or buy. But the demand is fixed, but the supply is variable. So the lack of supply means that for a fixed demand, what's available for sale or for rent, the price is going up. So the example, guys, remember the pandemic? Remember that? Remember when you couldn't get toilet paper? And we would go on Amazon and we would be like, all the mainstream toilet paper was out. And all like the Cottonelle bulk had long been depleted. And we were like, like Green Bay Packers memorabilia toilet paper for like $49 for 2 rolls. Remember that? Dude, that was so real. You couldn't get it. I ordered like the Pokemon toilet paper. And then I like placed the order for like a roll at like $25, like 30. There was like, whatever, there was no price. It was like 80. I was like, if I can make a market at $80. And then they were like, sorry, it's out. Guys, this is what supply and demand is. So the investors and developers in the housing market who are so routinely scapegoated for price gouging, yet those bad guys that everybody complains about, guys, they can't control the price because they can't control demand. All that they can do is create new supply through construction and renovation. And then the demand is either there or it's not. They provide a product, they provide an asking price, and it sells or it doesn't. And they can't control that. If these 6 homes that were built in Eureka, North Carolina instead were built in the middle of some abandoned road in the desert of New Mexico, they wouldn't sell. They wouldn't sell. Why? Because there's no buyers. No one wants housing there. There's no jobs, there's nothing happening, there's no towns. So if developers ever build any homes anywhere where those homes are not desperately and immediately needed, the homes don't sell. And the developers go out of business. It happens all the time. It's happening right now. It's happening. This is happening. Everyone thinks, and I'm going to get these comments, and I look forward to it. I'm going to put the little heart emoji on it because I feel warmth towards it. Everyone's going to be like, no, the investors and the flippers make everything more expensive. The flippers are the reason that the prices are so unaffordable. It's just not true. It's just not true at all. Guys, it's the opposite because there's only a fixed number of buyers in the market. So there's only so much demand. When flippers bring new inventory onto the market, it increases supply. When there's more listings per buyer, it's a buyer's market. When there's more supply for a fixed demand, the price goes down. Or at least it stays the same and doesn't go up. And that's what we saw since the pandemic. Look at the listing inventory. Look at when housing prices went up and look at what was happening with inventory. When there was no inventory to speak of in the housing market during the initial part of the pandemic, that's when prices rose. Now we're in this sluggish, stagnant market and the listing inventory is high and slightly going higher. It's the rising number of homes on the market that are preventing the price for the existing homes from going up. My detractors in the YouTube comments, they talk about how all the neighbors in Eureka don't want these new homes. It's the last thing they want. They don't want the homes. No. It's a blight on the town. See, but those commenters, they have it completely backwards. Because the only reason that those homes are there is because the people of the town do want them. Who do you think is buying these homes? BlackRock? No, the people buying these homes are the residents of the town. That's who's buying them. So in a total vacuum, guys, if there were like no other variables to consider, if the question to me were, hey, do you want to conserve the farmland or destroy the farmland? I would conserve the farmland. If we were in a zero gravity universe, destroy the farmland or conserve it, I would conserve. And not only that, I would like fight to conserve. Because like if it was actually a ultra limited commodity, then that was like a crucial lifeline, we'd have to defend it. But it's not. And it's not also a zero gravity vacuum universe. There's second and third and fourth and fifth order consequences to every decision. Because if you were to conserve that farmland, let's play it through. Let's say those homes were never built. Conserve the farmland. There's a silver star. You did good. You got what you wanted. But then what happens next? Like, where do those residents go? To the city? Like, is that what you really want? You want to save the farmland and then move migrant labor and migrant households into the city? And you want to hollow out whatever workforce is remaining to support these farm operations and accelerate the decline of rural America even faster? Is that your goal? Because that would be a consequence of that decision. If these rural communities are going to survive, let alone thrive, you need strong towns. You got to give families the opportunity to move into these rural communities. Okay? Give them housing. It's fine. It's fine. It's more than fine. The town, dude, Eureka needs those homes more than they need that farmland. Obviously. So, guys, give these young families the opportunity to move into these rural communities. It's okay. Okay? Let them move in. Let them build families, create jobs, build communities, make money. Can I get a like on this video if you guys think it's okay to make money, by the way? Let's do that. Would that be okay? I think so. Guys, communities need people to hold them together, just like the soil needs the trees and the grass to hold it together. And without that vegetation, the soil turns into sand, and the sand turns into desert. Many people claim to care about these rural communities and proselytize about how the new housing in these small towns is such a big violation, how the housing is destroying the fabric of the community when it's the total opposite. The new housing is the glue that is helping to keep the community intact and economically viable too. Okay, so I changed my mind, guys. I started this whole video off telling you not to buy that farmland, but I'm going to relax my position on that a little bit. I'm going to revise my position on that. And I'm going to tell you that go ahead and buy it. If you want to buy it, just buy it. It's fine. Build a home, buy the farmland, build that home. But if you do, be respectful. Be a good steward of the land. Don't use any more than you really need. It's wasteful and there's nothing in it. And consider that the next time that you see new homes being built, just remember that you have your home and you have your community too. So why shouldn't they? And if you're going to buy that farmland, by the way, you got to make sure that you get a good deal on it, which is going to be the topic of the next video on our channel. That video is how to spot rip-off land from a mile away. I hope you guys enjoy it.